Hey fellow Nevillers, welcome back to the channel. My name's Sarah, otherwise known as Neville O'Clock. Today I've got my nose up in Building Your Temple from 1967. Another wonderful lecture from Neville. He shares many points in this lecture, just like he does in all of his works. What fascinated me about this one are the words I've heard him use many times, and those words are treading in the winepress. I often wonder when I was on the beginning of this journey what on earth he meant, or what the Bible meant by treading the winepress, and Neville, his beautiful soul, has shared what that means. So that's what we're going to go into this morning, my lovelies. If you haven't already, please subscribe up there or down there, and then you won't miss any of these lectures. We're on day 85 of Neville's work. So let's dive in, my lovelies. The beginning of the lecture, my lovelies, Neville's discussing Blake's poem. The poem is The Four Zoas, a dream of 9 nights. And in that poem, Blake is discussing God's fall into division and decay and resurrection, and then to unity. So here's how he says it. He says, William Blake, in his poem The Four Zoas, a dream of 9 nights, tells of God's fall into division and his resurrection to unity. His fall into generation, decay and death, and his resurrection into the unity of the one Father, which where we are all headed, my lovelies. He says, associating his poem with the 6th chapter of Ephesians, the 12th verse, he states, we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of this world, against spiritual wickedness in heavenly places. And that's what that's what got my attention this morning. Where he says, we're not fighting with flesh and blood, i.e. us people, humans, but we're fighting with, or fighting against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in heavenly places. There's only one place that can be, my lovelies. That's in our mind, i.e. our consciousness. So he says, so we see that the fall into division and the resurrection into unity is mental. Another word that got my attention, mental, my lovelies. So Neville So Neville shares a little more here, my lovelies, about our, what could we call it? We probably could call it a mental travail. He says, let no one tell you Paul was exaggerating, Paul from the Bible. It is a fight, for we are contending not with flesh and blood. It's all mental. And then he continues, at the present moment, someone is treading the winepress of hate. And and unrestrained, the thought is sent on its wings of feeling. Perhaps sitting in a dungeon this night, someone is treading the winepress of war, and some little boy out in the field catches the idea and, wanting to be a hero, dreams of becoming a great general, commanding the destruction of the world. He is dreaming and you can't stop his dream. So you are not warring against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers and spiritual wickedness in heavenly places. And heaven is within. When I was reading this morning, it resonated and registered with me. I had some married friends with kids, and I remember them telling me, no, I don't let my child play with toys of war. They have no play guns, they have no play soldiers. And Neville right here is telling us the person treading the winepress could be that little boy who's dreaming about being a really famous commander, general, or someone leading people into war. So be careful what you take into your consciousness. Be careful what you give to your kids too, really, is what this is telling me. So he says, and heaven is within. In the inside of your mind, these abominable, loathsome beings are carved. They are unseen forces impinging upon you morning, noon and night. So all these ideas, beliefs, superstitions, prejudices, or just dreams, like the little boy dreaming he wants to be a famous general and lead people into war, if we do whatever it is we're thinking about with feeling, it gets manifested. That's quite a smack in the face, isn't it? It's just a warning, really. Just be careful what you're thinking about, because if it's done with feeling, it's going to come to fruition. and we don't need any more war. So my lovelies, we'll leave the lecture right there, because what I wanted to share with you is the fact that this is all mental. Our whole experience journey on earth is a psychological drama, and Neville in the lecture right here is giving us a warning about treading in the winepress, i.e. we must be ever aware of what we hear, what we see, what we pay attention to, what we take into as a belief. Because if you take it in as a belief, it's going to manifest in your world. I could share. In your world. I could share a whole bunch of personal drama, is probably what I could call it, but I won't. But just trust me, some of the things I've manifested in my life weren't of the best things, but now I'm more conscious and aware. I'm rectifying all of that, my lovelies, hence the Neville O'Clock channel, because we come to Neville generally on our journey, on our spiritual path. We end up at Neville, and for me personally, it's like, yep, this is the truth. This is what I've been looking for. This is what our soul is searching for. This is what God is looking for. We are God. He's waking up in me. He's waking up in you, and I'm waking you all up one video at a time, awakening humanity. So thank you for your time and attention, my lovelies. There's many other videos to go with this lecture, building your temple, because as you know, you are the living temple of God. He is housed in you and me. Is that not fabulous? I'll see you in the next video, my lovers. Please give the video a like. YouTube loves it, and so do I. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.